Today we're going to Guirdil, Bothy on the northwest of the Isle of Rum. The OS maps seem to think it's going to take me about 2 hours from here. I said that last time. I reckon it was probably about 2.5. Underfoot conditions could go either way. So could the river crossing. With the river crossing in particular, it has been a bit drier, but it has been a bit colder. So I'll be interested to see how the river's doing in comparison with the last time I was here, and how the bog around the path, how powerful that is this time. So, it's about 1 degree, 1 degree Celsius, don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, but I've got to walk across to the village today, which is about 6 miles each way. What I'm going to do is, my boots have been drying for 3 days, and they're not dry, is I'm going to crack them on. But because they're not dry, I've got water socks to wear with them. So I wouldn't say it was a hack. In the words of one of my old trampoline coaches, it's the signature move of the desperate. But what this will do is, at least it will stop the coldness being too disruptive as I go around, and then when I get back I'll change into my trail runners, which I'm wearing right now. But it's a cold one today. I need to wait for daylight to break before I get going. Although I'll be taking my head torches with me, it's just there's a river crossing involved this morning. It's not a bad one, but and it's an awfully long walk. And the first part of the walk is not very good conditions underfoot, so that's my plan. I like to make sure I've got enough fire for the morning, enough firewood for the morning, so there's always a temptation to burn everything the night before, but you'd be glad you left something in the morning. Now, making sure you get the right kit is also very important, as my sleeping bag goes down to, I think it's minus 4-ish, but that is actually not quite managing that right now. So most Bothys will have kind of leftover sleeping bags, basically, ones that have like broken or have been left by kind people, shall we say. What I do is, if they are free and available and not absolutely minging, is I will tuck my sleeping bag inside one of them, and at least that way, like, things like my feet are warm enough. I'm sleeping on a stone floor, which if you roll off of your mat, saps a lot of the heat. Now that is a bit of a nuisance, so if you can find any felt or foam, so there's a couple of not quite full but almost full roll mats upstairs, and I'll just put them either side, so especially my torso, if it rolls onto the ground, it's not going to kind of be exposed to the really cold. It's just a little bit of something extra that you can do. Guirdil Bothy, which is where I am, on the Isle of Rum, there is no ceiling in the bottom floor. There's only the roof, which means that the heat doesn't stay in the room. So after you move about 3 feet away from the fire, you don't feel the benefits of it at all. And oh, my boots are really cold. So because this bothy is so cold, it's a case of making sure that you're planning for that as well. My feet are freezing. I'm going to warm them up just a little bit by the fire before I go. Day is almost breaking. We are at 20 to 8 in the morning and it's still dark, so I'm going to put my feet up a little bit and hopefully they'll warm up just enough before I get them absolutely freezing cold in the river crossing.
I always forget how long it can take to walk into a bothy. Never quite budget enough energy. So for Guirdil Bothy, the guidebook seems to say about 3 hours. Now if you've got a light pack, that's about right. 3 hours is fine. If you get a heavy pack, I would say allow for 4. 4 hours is kind of sensible, depending on the conditions as well. Today it's a mixture of boggy and icy. Now sometimes that works in your favour, where the ice kind of cancels out the bog. With my experience, in my morning part of my hike, not so much the case today. Oh well. So obviously I'm not doing the river crossing where I would normally do it, and that's just to show the alternative. So I'm walking upstream a little bit to the old cattle track and crossing there. Lovely wee river though, when it goes down to the waterfall before it goes down to the sea. It's beautiful. It's almost like rock canals in a way. They're very linear. But right now my hands are freezing and I'm going to try and manage this river crossing further up in a way that looks manly. Oh god! That was really deep.
I've changed my mind on my decision to go home 2 days early. The logic behind that is it's bloody cold, but the enjoyment of the days far outweighs, at least in my head right now, the savage nature of the nights. Whether or not I still feel like that through the night is very different. Whether or not I feel like that when I first wake up in the morning is very different. However, right now, I'm feeling pretty good. I've loaded the fire up, found a couple of bays with loads of driftwood, so I'm going to go back tomorrow and stack up everything I need. So that means on the final day there's absolutely zero cutting or sawing or chopping or anything, and I just get to chill out and read books by the fire, which I may or may not remember to tend, and eat the rest of my food. Yeah.
So the temperature's dropped well below zero now. Parts of the barn are beginning to freeze over. The place itself is really calm, really nice, but the cold is pretty fierce. So this morning it's been a good couple of hours chopping firewood. I'm about to get into sawing it up now into some parts because it's really cold. I hadn't seen the eagles for a couple of days, but saw a sea eagle fly by this morning. None of the goldens yet. The goats were back on the beach, so were the deer. Had a mouse in the bothy last night, which was great fun. It was only a couple of feet from my face. So I shined the torch on it and it just looked back at me and was like, alright bud, how's it going? Was not fazed by me in the slightest. But time to get chopping. What a day though. Oh, pull out some of that. Look at that.
Alright, so last night in Bothy. It's been topsy-turvy. The nights have been really hard, just because it gets dark so early. Pressure on candles and cutting about your head torch on and just trying to keep warm. It's been pretty bad, although during the day it's not so bad at all. It's been really peaceful for the most part, with the exception of maybe the last couple of days where it's been pretty windy. It's picking up and the wind is pretty ferocious tonight. I'm hoping that's still okay for the walk home, but we'll find out. I've enjoyed it though. It's been really good. I've got lots of filming done. I've not necessarily done everything I wanted to, but I did some things that I very nearly didn't do. Now that sounds strange, but in my head it's more along the lines of I could have made excuses not to do them. Like last time I could have made excuses not to jump in the loch. And nobody would need to have known, but I'm happy that I did it. Similar with some of the filming, some of the like I'm still annoyed at the things I didn't get, but the stuff that I did do is definitely it's worth focusing on that because a few months ago I might not have done it. But anyway, that's not the point. I am getting ready for bed, even though it is like not even 7 p.m. It's just pitch black. Firewood's pretty much used up. I didn't want to use up everything. So the next big plan, I've got firelighters and some tinder and stuff like that, so that's the plan. I've left them that, and I am now just going to set my head torch on. Pardon me. Do a little bit of reading, and yeah,